All right, everyone, welcome to a brand new section in which we will be creating a CityCare application. Now, you have already seen that how the CityCare application works and how it allows you to take a picture, upload a picture to Firebase storage, and also authenticate, register, login using Firebase authentication. Now, this particular lecture is about the starter project, and it is extremely important that you download the starter project, which is associated, downloadable with this lecture. The starter project contains a lot of code to develop the user interface. It is also integrated with Firebase, so we don't have to go through all the steps again of integrating with Firebase. If you are not sure how to integrate with Firebase, then you should go back and check out the to-do list that we built, where I went through all the different steps you need to take to integrate your Flutter application with Firebase. So this has already been done. I'm going to walk through a couple of these pages to show you what the starter project looks like. Once again, it is mandatory, it is necessary that you download and use the starter project. The first thing is, let's go to the pubspec.yaml file. And in this file, you're going to see the dependencies. So right over here, you can see all the different dependencies. We have a dependency on Firebase Core, because obviously we'll be using Firebase, Cloud Firestore, Firebase Authentication, Provider, Image Picker, because we need to pick an image from a photo library or take a picture from the camera, Firebase Storage, because we need to upload the images to the Firebase server, UUID, and INTL, which I'll see if we use it or not. I'll talk about these two later on. Don't worry too much about it, because we will be using it later on. Okay. So if you open up main.dart, our main file for this project, the starting page is the incident list page, which you can see on the right-hand side in the emulator. We have a menu, and if you check out the menu, it has home, my incidents, add incident, login, register, logout. So basically, it has all the options listed. And if you open up the incident list page, you can see that we are simply using a drawer control or a widget, which displays all of these different options. Cool? All right, so this is the user interface. You can also see a couple of these functions that I've added: navigate to add incident page, navigate to my incident page, navigate to login page. So if I go ahead and click on register, it will take me to the register page. If I go ahead and click on login, it will take me to the login page, and so on. So I can go ahead and click on add incident, and it will take me to the add incident page. Apart from that, we have widgets. This is empty or no items widget, which means that if you don't want to display anything or you don't have any incidents, you can use this widget to display some sort of a message saying that there are no widgets. We have an incident list widget, which is responsible for displaying the incidents. Right now, if you go to my incidents, it's not really going to display anything because we don't have any incidents. So this is the overall structure of our application. I have added also utilities such as constants, which is simply some sort of a messages or access to images that are part of the assets. You can see the view model folder is completely empty, nothing there. Model folder is completely empty, nothing there. And as I said earlier on, this application is already integrated with Firebase. So if I open up iOS, if I go to the runner folder, you can see right over here, Google service info.plist file. This means that I have already integrated. I went online to the Firebase console, created an iOS project, downloaded Google service info.plist file, which you can actually go ahead on the Firebase console, create a new project, which is City Incidents or CityCare, whatever, add a new application, add an app, which is right here, which will allow you to add an iOS app or an Android app. And for iOS apps, you can simply go to iOS app. You can go to project overview, and then you can go to iOS app, project settings. And if you click on this one, which is iOS app, you can download Google Service info.plist file. And you have to do this step. If you don't do this step, then your application is not going to work because it will be hooked up to my Firebase stuff, which will not be available by the time you are watching the course. So you have to go to the Firebase console, create a new Firebase project, add an iOS app, then obviously download the Google Service info.plist file, add it to your project, which is right over here. The other thing that you have to do is you have to do the same thing for Android. So if I go to Android and I go to the app folder and I go to the source, and right over here you can see for Android the file name is Google Service JSON, and the same thing you can do. So you will go over to the Firebase console, you will go to project settings, click on the Android app right here, and right over here Google Services JSON. So you will download it and integrate it into your application. So those are the things that you will need to do. Other stuff like initializing the Firebase, that's already been done. So let me go ahead and show it to you in main.dart. You can see that we have already initialized Firebase. But none of the actions that it doesn't log in, it doesn't register, it doesn't allow you to add an incident or upload a picture or view all incidents or log out. It doesn't allow you to do any of those things. That is all the things that we have to implement. So if you are, and you should be, downloading this project, the starter code, the only thing that you actually need to change is go to your Firebase console, create a new project. So if I go to Firebase, create a brand new project right here, add your Firebase iOS application and your Android application. Once you have added the iOS application as well as Android application, all you need to do is go to the project settings and download the appropriate info.plist file. So for Android, it is Google Services.json, and for iOS, it is simply Google Service info.plist file, and you will replace the two files that are in the project, and you'll be good to go. All right. And if you have any other questions, you can let me know and I can add another video if you're having issues. But if you have never done integration for Flutter with Firebase, then I highly recommend that you go back to the section where I'm teaching how to build a to-do list. And that is exactly how you're going to do it. All right. But the process of this that was a little bit longer, so I'm not adding it over here because we have already covered it. Okay, so we're going to start with registering and authentication. So let's go in the next lecture and talk about how we can register a user with the Firebase platform.